It is Tuesday, October 14th on Cardone Debates, and we have a special new guest today. I'm a bit biased because I love her. We're going to be talking about if daddy issues are real. We have, Gary, Dustin. I'm going to bring you guys up. We just got another one. Actually, we have two special guests today. So first, we have Dustin. Thank you for coming today. I know you're going to have a lot of really great insight on daddy issues. What's going on?
Okay, I think I should just start by saying what a saint Jennifer Lawrence is for putting up with me doing all this madness.
She is a saint. She is a saint. We love her. Not the actress, but your wife, which we actually like even more. So.
Yeah, no, not the Harvey Weinstein one. The actress Jennifer Lawrence definitely has daddy issues. Call it a hunch.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, just call it a hunch.
Okay, well, we'll get into that, I guess.
The level of daddy issues you have to sleep with Harvey Weinstein, I mean, it's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Clinical, I think.
Hey, Misha.
Hi, how are you guys? How you doing?
What's up, Misha?
Good to see you, Dustin. I can't stop thinking about you from our last podcast, man. You really impressed me, brother. Good to have you. Good to be here with you guys.
Yeah, no, the Red Bull and cigarettes diet. I have a feeling like we might need infomercials. I feel like I've got to spread that to the world.
Well, there's actually a brand called Key. It's like they got like theanine and L-theanine, but it's actually almost better than Red Bull. I'll get you a box into your house. You can try it. It's tremendous.
Let's go.
So,
guinea pig.
I'll send you some.
Dustin, you guys know where to find Dustin because he's here every week. Chef Misha is a chef, and he's enlightened me a lot on this on these psychology issues. So he's actually perfect for this talk. We'll get into that soon. We're going to be picking teams.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Happy to have you. Hi, Gary. What's up?
Gary, does size matter?
Does size matter? Does it?
I don't know. Does it?
I think in a bank account, I think if you do one thing once, I don't know if size matters. I don't think it matters all the time. I think if you're really tiny, okay, and you're in a tiny world, you would do exceptionally well. Anyway, what's the topic today? And could we give the audience like some content? Because and who the heck's joined? I bet you a bunch of chicks, right?
Oh yeah. Does size matter?
There we go. There's one.
Does size matter or no?
Is this a yes or no?
Yes or no?
I'm gonna say yes.
Olya is a very good friend of mine. I love her very much. Thank you for coming today to talk about daddy issues.
One of my favorite topics. That's why I was like, "Oh, come on."
Tremendous.
Actually,
did you say Auto Man?
One of her favorite topics
Is what?
Daddy issues.
Oh, is that right? Huh.
I think this is well.
You'll be surprised why, but it'll come out.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. Look, should I go pour a drink? I mean,
yes.
Go get a drink. Go get a drink. We're gonna bring up the next girl.
It's after 5 in the East Coast, so no issues.
Imagine it, Dustin, if I was a host, okay, and I said, "Hey, let me bring up another girl." How would the audience react? A chick does it. Hey, let me bring up this other blonde bimbo. And she's like, "Yeah, what's up, Sally? Hey, let's all fucking hits, like,
yeah, we are the blonde
and
bimbos.
we do that and like, hey, man, you're groping me, you gray-haired motherfucker."
Well, why don't you give Jade a proper welcoming then?
Jade. I adore.
There you
and
go.
she took time out of her schedule to come see us. I love her very much. We actually just hung out recently, and I'm trying to get her back to come hang out some more. Jade, I think, is very intelligent. She's been in the Bitcoin world for a bit too, so we know each other from that. But we're also good friends, and I adore you. So thank you for coming and sharing your wisdom with us. Tell us where we can find you and also what you're about.
You're such a sweetheart, Dana, and nice to make some new friends. I think Dana's a sweetheart. We were just together in New York. I know Dana through the crypto world, and I post on Twitter sometimes, so you can find me there. And happy to talk about daddy issues. I could probably talk for like 3 hours straight. So any opinions you need, I'm here.
Cool. So, we really did do this topic as an inflammatory post. That's like, I don't think anyone disagrees that daddy issues don't exist. We actually had some OnlyFans girls ready to go, but they're a little bit flaky. So next time when we do this, we need about 50.
Sounds like daddy issues.
I don't know. Is it? I don't know.
Well, disorganized patterns is a byproduct of having a disorganized, secure-based schema. So we can get into psychology of that, but Dustin, you're kind of spot on.
Yeah, but how do you know if it's like daddy issues or mommy issues? I mean,
well, it could be a parental issue, but specifically when women can feel safe by their father, they're told that they're capable enough, they're told that they're worthy of love. They really avoid anxious, ambivalent patterns, avoidant patterns, and specifically disorganized patterns. And we can go deeper into that, but that's textbook. I can send you guys some literature on that.
Yeah, send us some literature, please. I'd like to.
All right, there's a Substack I'll send you right now.
Yeah.
So my question to you is how is it that you know so much about this topic?
Oh, well, I come from probably four generations, probably more. My father's side of daddy issues. My mother's side probably goes deeper than that. Probably 4 or 5 generations. My father started bringing me to like men's groups and, human development, kind of quote unquote life coaching stuff when I was 17. And the inner child work, all this stuff, it's textbook. It's all kind of the same stuff. You just got to know, how to reverse engineer, these patterns. That's why we were talking on the last podcast about ibogaine or iboga, where you can tap into, generational timelines. But really it's about, a lot of this secure attachment, insecure attachment, anxious attachment stuff. It's pretty basic and textbook, and we can go into that. But yeah, I did write it actually. I actually wrote a Substack before this, kind of highlighting a full kind of white paper on this issue. I can have Dana. I think you have it. You can post it. I think if you want.
Post what?
The white paper I sent you when you were recording all day. I can resend it. You were supposed to read homework on it. Remember that? I'll resend it. No problem.
What daddy issue is that? He like gives me homework in the middle of the day. And,
well,
like,
it's called read the bold and review later. Because anybody can click on a document if they're peeing for 5 seconds. That's called being disorganized in your time management. But we're not going to go there on you.
The thing is, you described a lot of issues, but nothing like, in your opinion, since you read about this, like, what is it? Like, what's one phrase that's daddy issues to you?
Well,
those are all the issues
that's another story. That's another story. I mean, personally, I would just say issues with your parental, environment growing up, and that can stem from a lot of different things, right? Whether your father said you didn't do well on a test, whether you were sexually assaulted, whether you were, didn't make the cheerleading team and your parents yelled at you. All those traumas register the exact same way in your brain. All trauma is actually, more or less created equal, right? Like even though your trauma seems worse than mine, your body processes it the exact same way, right? So we can go into exactly what daddy issues are, but you're talking about paternal attachment disruption. We can, the whole multi-system analysis of psychobiological and relational sequelae. So we can go into that. And it's not like necessarily my area of expertise, but I have been working on this solely in my personal life the past, let's say, 18 years. Working with all the top experts. Gabor Mate is a doctor of mine. Byron Katie is someone who coaches me. So it's the work. She kind of phrased that terminology. So when anybody does the work, it's kind of from her background. So it's not like I'm an expert. However, my company, we do build trauma informed healing centers. So more or less, it's a niche that I have a specialty in.
I mean,
that's right. Yeah.
I won't quite go as deep as Sigmund Freud here, as far as like, to me, daddy issues, like in
those are mommy issues though. But sorry, I digress.
I think that the portrayal of Olivia and Tony Soprano in The Sopranos is maybe the best like example of film, like mommy issues on film. But for daddy issues, could we just define it, make it simple? Like I think culturally it means like girls who are overly promiscuous and lack like that kind of, I don't know, fatherly guidance in their life generally, because somehow they lack that when they were growing up. When I hear daddy issues, I think of, you know, OnlyFans girls, clubbing girls, girls who are going buck wild all over the place.
So we're saying daddy issues only pertain to women now? Is that a reality we're living in? I didn't know that reality.
Oh yeah. What do you think about this one?
I've been thinking about this a lot because I see
only
daddy
blondes.
issues in men.
And only
blondes.
I mean, look, you guys showed up with the banquet.
I showed up with experience on daddy issues in men, by the way.
Well, you're the expert. You're the expert.
Can someone explain to me, do men have daddy issues?
Absolutely.
Or do women have daddy issues?
They both can have.
Okay,
they just look different.
Okay. For the audience, should we define what those look like so we can know what we're debating?
For sure. Yes. I think for me, what I'll say is daddy issues in women, everybody knows I think everybody knows what they look like. Promiscuous, low self-esteem, constantly looking for validation. In men, daddy issues.
All of those things have to be present?
I've yet to see a woman that was that and did not have father issues. Let me just say that.
That was what?
That was promiscuous, low self-esteem, constantly looking for validation. I've never met a woman who had all those things who did not have father issues.
Should we all do an inventory? Should all the men do an inventory really quick? I bet we could. I think I know two people who just it's a you know, they have oppositional defiant disorder, but their father is a nice gentleman. But you never knew. Maybe under the sheets or under the covers of guys of family that there's abuse. But okay, sure. Sorry about that.
There's for sure like an outlier. I'm just speaking in general, so this is, you know, applicable to people who are listening. In men, and this is where I feel like people don't talk about it enough, but I see daddy issues in men, and they show up as men who like don't believe in themselves, like those men who like seemingly can be successful, they're smart, they have everything going for them, and they just like don't have a spine, and therefore don't really go far in life, even though they have all the prerequisites. I oftentimes, to me, that's daddy issues, like in what I've seen around.
Does it make you feel better?
Which
part? Does it make you feel better that you can identify that your boyfriend has daddy issues and doesn't have a spine? I mean, what do you do?
It saves me time so I can leave them.
Pardon?
Yeah, it's data points. It's information. It's data. Right. It's data. Right. Exactly.
So I mean, I on the men's side, right? I guess for the sake of just making this conversation flow, can we just take like, okay, what is paternal and what is maternal, as far as issues as your life, like, so like, for example, I actually thought that you were going to go somewhere different. I thought you could be. I agree. Men who are overwhelmingly raised in a maternal environment often lack stoicism and lack the like cutthroat ability that like comes from the like male side, and tend to be overly sensitive and attached to their emotions. I actually thought she was going to go the opposite, be like, these men who aren't in touch with their feelings have daddy issues. Like, I think it's the opposite. Like, I credit my dad for the reason, like, for my stoicism and for my like willingness to like go through shit and not complain about it, which I don't think.
But what did you understand I said? Because I'm not sure I disagree with you. And you said
no. I think we're in total agreement, actually.
Oh, okay.
Right, like what you're saying is that guys who are raised without a father or a strong father figure tend to be overly sensitive and to overanalyze. They tend to exhibit maternal traits because they were raised by their mother.
Yeah.
I think that's spot on.
Like, in my
I'm just gonna may I interrupt, because it always takes the master to set the table properly, Dana.
Please.
So let's think about this, right? So I think really the way this topic came about, I did not come up with this topic. I'm thinking that Dana came up with this topic and she twisted something that she heard me say once.
You're welcome.
When I was trying to mentor her into the finer machinations of, entering the corporate world and just, becoming, just blending in and becoming a major player in it. And what I said to her, because you are a woman, understand that every man that you're going to come in contact with in business or otherwise, 99.9% of those men will have mommy issues. And you, if you don't understand those, and that is most definitely present in leaders, and you don't exploit it, you're an idiot. Okay, you're an absolute idiot. And exploit it doesn't mean that you have to exploit it in a negative way, but you guys, somebody mute themselves. That women say about this corporate ceiling. I'm like, wow, what corporate ceiling? There's so many gaps in working with men, and I just don't see many women that really understand that most men are trying to please, right? Like that is they to me, that's what, well, you guys are hanging out with the wrong men then. Okay. Or y'all, somebody changed the fucking medicine of the breast milk. I don't know what happened. It's like, maybe it's an age thing, but back in my day, we were complaining about guys having too much spine. And now what we're complaining about is women who are too spiny. Because if you get spiny around a guy like me, like I'm done, I've kind of moved through all my issues. Like I don't need to get beat up, right? And so how do you encourage someone? And I think this is where the whole, to me, I mean, my brother's sitting here laughing probably his ass off. Talk about two kids that have mommy and daddy issues. Okay, lose a dad at 9. Have a twin, don't even know who myself is, and then have a mother who converts to just being a tough old Italian Sicilian woman, make sure that she didn't, fail. That was the baseline. Don't fail. Don't embarrass the last name, period. And now, you get two guys that are insecure, scared, not well prepared, angry. I like the anger. The anger fueled my brother and I. But so what? Okay, I have all these issues. I just need to understand where they are. They're not every one of us have. I've never met a human being. This is what I was telling Dana. Man, you guys should like really ease in. And if I was a woman, I'd be a trillionaire. And I would never, ever, ever have to, in one moment, reduce my ethics. And that's where the women always go, oh yeah, you're talking about, no, I'm not talking about doing shit. I'm talking about getting into the psyche of the other person. And we're human beings. We all have this. Like we have, I mean, that it's considered weak to look at it is stupidity. It's sheer stupidity. It's where I came from. 2 seeds, this whole environment. Like you show me somebody from Gaza right now that just had their entire family blown up, and I'm going to show you 100 years of a very different viewpoint. Right? So I'll be quiet now.
I have an opinion on why, like, possibly women don't lean into that and exploit it, I guess, in a positive way. I think that from like what I've seen is a lot of women.
I would use the word fertilize and encourage it. Because there's such massive benefit to it. See, because you're going, hey, where's the spine? You show me someone that's creative and I will give you a spine. But you have to have the creative. And you have to figure out what's going to support like you're never going to browbeat me in anything. I've had you women try to browbeat me into shit. Like, dude, you and
you
your
women. Sorry, I was waiting for
your
that.
mother and her fucking mother and her mother before her. You're not going to castrate this wild fucking boar. I mean, I'm just not going down. And that's what you guys want, and it's what you constantly try to tame.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean that's what we want?
I think that's the conversation that ends up really being, it ends up being a male-female tug of war. It does at its core. Oh, I think so.
I was going to say that what I've seen is that a lot of women are not comfortable with emotional men. And I think that's a big gap, because if you just allow somebody to like open up and you don't see that, like I personally don't see that as weakness. And because in my family, my father was emotional and also very strong, disciplined, like persona. And so when I see that in a man, it doesn't, I'm not like he's weak. I'm actually like, wow, emotions, like strong. This man is strong. He knows himself. He's comfortable. But for whatever reason, a lot of women don't like emotions in men.
Well, I'm going to push back on that. I think
why they don't benefit.
I think a lot of people, what they like is communication, and what they like is emotional intelligence. There are some women, especially New York, LA, Miami, and the kind of the corporate world, that, you know, in mostly cities, I've noticed, where they're playing that game where they're actually giving up their feminine and leaning into the masculine. And if they see a man who's maybe good at communicating or kind of in the, there is a spectrum, right, of the man that's maybe too in his feminine, but you know, communication is key. And if you have high emotional intelligence and high EQ, you can speak to anybody and you can align with anybody and you can see. And I think what, you know, Gary was saying earlier is, do you use that advantage? You use that person's quote unquote flaw or, you know, potential kind of social wart, to actually utilize that in business or in strategy. And that's, you know, they call it Machiavellian. That's called being strategic. It's called being aware. And yeah, it's all data points, right? It's knowing your kind of knowing the players in the team, knowing the game. You got to know the rules of the game. But I think, you know, most women who have not been around a emotionally intelligent man who's got high EQ, and can use logic and wisdom and emotion. You know, I'll show you some. I know a bunch of people. I think Gary is right. There's a lot of great men out there, and people who are in that kind of the corporate, you know, crypto space, especially. They're with a lot of no offense, Dana, a lot of people who are, you know, maybe taking shortcuts and not doing that deep inner work to actually be able to communicate their feelings. I work with a lot of these people, so I can introduce you to a lot of these high level thinkers.
No offense to Dana, because you've identified what?
No, she's just in the crypto space, so she knows crypto people really well. So I'm like, I'm not talking about any mutual friends, but
Dustin. What's wrong with Dustin?
No, not Dustin. Dustin's great.
Dustin's perfect.
Dustin's an alpha. There's a lot of betas in that space. But what I'm saying is, you know, you have the ability as a woman to help men lean into their masculine, right? And I think most women, when they see a man who isn't standing in their power, they criticize rather than build them up. Especially, and I've seen that personally as well.
I would also expand on that a little bit and just say, I think,
yes, Jade, please.
The masculine and feminine polarity, when you see a woman that is trying to, I don't know, as Gary said, browbeat someone, you have to understand that a woman's ultimate goal is to feel safe. And in order to be in her full femininity, she needs to be with a truly masculine man. And when she feels safe in that dynamic, at that point, are they able to be together and communicate effectively? And I think when that dynamic is off, then you start to see a lot more issues. I was talking with Dana about this recently because I live in LA and there's a lot more men that are in touch with their emotions. And I was so surprised when I visited her in New York last week, how it was a completely different experience. And I felt like I could be a woman and not just flirt with people, but just be in my power, whether I was crossing the sidewalk and the construction workers were being nice and holding up traffic, whatever it was. A woman needs to feel like a woman by being safe. And I don't know how much that has to do with daddy issues. I think that's just a fundamental idea of humanity.
Well, no, I think you're totally right. If women don't feel safe from 0 to 7 years old, they grow up trying to, again, the anxious, ambivalent patterns, avoidant patterns, disorganized patterns. Like, yeah, everyone needs to feel safe, but especially, yeah, a woman, they can lean into that feminine role if their man's more masculine. However,
women hate feeling safe. Let me tell you something. Women love the adventure.
Oh, Gary,
women,
double down on that.
Are just this really is not a
I think you're
conversation
just doing
about.
it.
Gary, it's a debate. I want to hear this. I want to hear your point.
It's not mommy and daddy issues. It's girl and boy issues. Fucking own it. Okay.
Big girl, big boy, mommy, daddy.
Why don't you girls tell us what the guys are doing wrong? Let's just get it out.
Can I just add something? You guys.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why we're doing it.
Women do want to feel safe because, like primal example.
You all would feel safe around me.
A bomb is flying. I want a man who will protect me.
Hey, don't interrupt me, young lady.
Women don't know what
Dana, listen, all three women would feel very secure around me, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All day long, every day. Do I have a spine?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But how can women feel safe around men?
Wait. What else, though? What else do you need other than that? So the guys in the audience thought, okay, this is what you want. Gary looks like he can create security for you. Good. You guys have never met me other than Dana, but you're going, oh yeah, I'd feel secure. Okay, what else? What else do you need from me?
I need a man that's confident in decision making. When you see women that are trying to control a situation, it's because they're afraid of the unknown. And if you can be with someone that you can trust to make all the great decisions, and I don't want a bunch of women to be upset with me, but I want a man that is comfortable and capable of making all the decisions so that I don't have to worry about the major things and we each kind of stay in our own lane.
That's staying in your own lane, man. Dude, that's where everything's gotten broken, I think. Because that's exactly what the guy wants to do. All men want to take care of who? The female. Dude, the female they honor and worship. Who is that? The first one? Mommy. You can call it a mommy issue, dude. I am very proud to be a protector of all women, period, dude. Young, middle-aged, fat, old, like seriously, that is my job as an alpha male, or in fact, as a male. And if you can't manage that, I think you just you didn't have a proper mother. She should have slapped the shit out of you. See, that's what happened. The mom should see. The mom was probably running the man. This is the problem, okay? The woman was probably running the man, which happens 85% of the time. Like 72% of all the women control all the cash in the fucking family. So we know the woman is in control of the very thing the man. Sorry for the very thing the man gets benefited for. But y'all take it all, control 72% of it, right? And all they want is approval. That's it, like pat on the head. Good boy, good boy. What do they get? What else do I need? I've given you security. You're pretty sure I can make decisions for the audience, the three of you. I can make a decision. In fact, I can make decisions so much. I love Jade. I want to get married to her right now because I will never ask you about how much Bitcoin I'm going to buy. You will be the last fucking person to know. I will not convene you into the family dinner table and go, hey, how much of this shit are we going to put on? How much debt? Like, why would I ask you? I might ask Dustin. But I'm not sleeping with Dustin. I'm not building something but I didn't hire a fucking Wall Street analyst. See, that's the problem.
So I want to throw this out there because I think this will be a good way to shape the discussion to what the declared topic is and then what we're actually talking about. So I think the problem is that we allowed the schools to raise men and women. And they went with this radical idea of tearing down the traditional male-female roles and tried to plant something in it that really didn't make any sense for the boys or the girls, which is everybody's the same and we're going to ignore like the basic traits, structure, and history of what the role of a male and female is. And then the problem is what's come up in its place is the shit that they gave us is literally like next level stupid, right? Like derp. And so what's happened though is that men have been feminized by the school system, right? So they've been made to reject the more masculine sides of their natural anatomy and physiology. And then what's happened though is then the women have been told to like embrace their masculine side and reject a lot of their femininity. And then as they've tried to like come up with it on their own, we end up with this like toxic, like, right? It's not that we came back to a balance. It's like we went from one side where it's like pretend it's fake and it swings all the way back. And so now you have this weird mix of like overly feminized emotional men. And then on the other side, you have these dudes waking up who like go the Andrew Tate route and are like, oh, I'm supposed to just be mean to these bitches all the time. Right? Like you just like lead them by the ear. And the truth, as it so often is that you find some middle, right? The real men know how to fall in the middle ground and make it make sense. So
can I pose a question, Dustin? Because you're just to piggyback of what you're saying.
Yep.
So we're all very clear. I mean, with a show of hands, we're all very clear on the archetype of the toxic male or the toxic masculinity archetype, right? Do we all understand that? Show of hands, everybody. I don't see hands in the bottom right. Okay, nice. Would we say there's such a thing as a toxic female archetype or a toxic femininity, or is that totally a made up construct made by?
I think there is.
What would that look like coming from the female perspective? Because I don't want to mansplain that to you guys, because that would be its own little liberal dance. But thank you, Dana. I'm here all week. But yeah, if you could just so us men, because I know Gary, he's someone who has a platform where if he understands his concept, we can maybe decode some of these systematic issues. What are you thinking on that, female team? And go. Danny, go first, maybe. Yeah, Danny, go first.
I think like what, Carl Jung says, that we're all in this kind of archetype, but if you swing too far left or swing too far right within a particular like character, as you say, then there's no growth. And so it's the equivalent of toxic femininity being a woman who says yes just 100% of the time without ever saying what she thinks as well. It would be kind of like being an extreme passivity. That's kind of what I would see. It's like how do you contend with somebody if they're just so feminine and yes all the time without ever pushing back in a nice way, or without ever as Gary would say, well, I don't know if you would say this. My dad always said, men just don't know. Like, you kind of have to train us. We just don't know. And you say,
train? That's tricky.
He said if they clean the rug, you say, thank you so much. Like, you remember.
Well, Hitler said death to Jews. Doesn't mean everyone's right. Oh my God. I don't think you train. I don't think you train anybody. I think you can educate your. Okay.
I can be trained as well, and Olia has done that. Olia has trained me as well. You get
that was
positive
the most
reinforcement.
womanly explanation of.
Dustin, let them all go actually, because I actually have the clinical definition. We can go into in a second.
Okay, fine. You know what? Fine, Dustin.
No, it's not bad. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just it's a great perspective.
No, I've never even thought about like what is toxic femininity. I don't even know.
I have a question.
Well,
I have a question.
It's your podcast.
From the ladies, especially like California people, what percentage of the men in California you think could actually meet your requirements?
Well, Jade and I recently were speaking about.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Do girls have these kind of conversations? What do you think the percentage is, ladies? Bring us in is this done in a nail center or?
speaking from personal experience, growing up in Southern California my entire life, I will just tell you that only one of my serious boyfriends has been American, and the rest have actually been foreign and international, because I personally have had a very hard time finding a man that kind of meets the masculine traits I'm looking for. And just to kind of touch on what you were saying before about toxic masculinity and what can you do to be that guy, there's a really great book called The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. I think it's a great read for both men and women. He also writes a book called Dear Lover, which is more towards women. And I read both of them. When I read Dear Lover, I felt like no one saw me as a woman more than that man. And I also read The Way of the Superior Man. And if you can read that book and embody that book, I do believe that 99.9% of the women will be attracted to you and communicate with you effectively, and you will understand yourself and women better too.
I like that. Dustin, what are you thinking, buddy? I see you thinking. I like that. I like Jade. I like the way she articulates the conversation.
No, and listen, those are good resources. So it's funny because I brought up earlier Tony Soprano's mother in The Sopranos is kind of like my favorite portrayal of like the toxic maternal impact like in life. And ultimately it comes down to emotional manipulation, in my opinion. And, right? Really. Right. And it also gets to what Gary was talking about in the business sense. Women have the ability to emotionally manipulate men in ways that I don't think they often appreciate. And the impact that it has on men, like when it's deployed, and it kind of goes like the most toxic version of it includes things like the guilt tripping, nagging, the browbeating. I guess if we use Gary's old man term on this, like from the 1940s or whatever.
Fuck off. How's that for a fucking term? That will stand the test of fucking time.
Right. So it actually is that's the one.
Somebody complained the other day, said, hey, I can't bring my high school guys, my kids to my IM. I'm like, dude, your kid's going to fucking public school.
Yeah, I'm sure
they heard fuck 37 times and they were all the wrong way. But that's really bad.
Even in this conversation, right, there's a general sense that I think, and again, this is in the most general terms. Of course, there's a lot, and I'd love to let Misha give us the like clinical definition. But I think it's important to notice that there's women tend to base their thinking on emotion, and men tend to base it on more logical, real life. Right? Real life's the wrong way to put that. That was not the most articulate way to describe it. But
Dustin, when I come home and tell you, hey, honey, I lost $17 million this afternoon, and we need to go to McDonald's, how should I present that message to you as a failed male? If you're a little bitch of mine.
I mean, listen, I take big losses. Right? We had a tough crypto weekend for sure. Keep that shit to yourself, bro. I don't need to hear it. You deliver what I'm supposed to go get. I don't need to hear you crying and bitching and moaning.
Totally, dude.
Go good job.
Don't expect me to fucking hammer my American Express down, bitch. I'm spinning, dude.
So, but right. So
yeah.
Even though in the description of what women are seeking in a man, like seeking a man, I think often also just ignores a lot of the actual reality, which is I think women often, right, and it's very hard for men to understand because it changes so fast with women so often, which is, right, 1 minute you want somebody who's your best friend and can listen to you and sit down and, right.
Wave really, of truth getting ready to hit the fucking world.
Really
I'm not sure the earth is ready for this polar fucking event.
Please just open up to me and tell me what you're thinking. And then dude does it and you're like, what a bitch. Fuck that guy. That guy's got no stones. And so again, I think that again, in the traditional dynamic, the best dynamic is that the men learn how to be stoic and to react and to also like take with a grain of salt the more emotional requests of the other side.
You're right, Justin, that like the toxic femininity, you're right. I forgot about all those other characteristics. There's a lot of echoing going on.
Dana, by the way, those are unbelievable words a man loves to hear. You're right, honey, baby, sweet. Oh my God, let me take my panties off. You're so right. Never hear that shit, man. I mean, come on, we could hear some more of that often. We could.
Maybe
sounds a little sensitive.
Look, there's a lot of, I feel like Jade would say you're right a lot, actually. She's very agreeable.
It made me think about, so one thing that David Data says in The Superior Man is that a woman's feelings are only ever true in that exact moment, and they're going to be wildly different in the next. And, you know, a man that's calm and confident in himself is capable of steering her and guiding her, and he understands that. The other thing that I would say, because you keep talking about women that manipulate and browbeat, someone that does that, she needs to be in control because she doesn't feel safe. So I would tell the man to look inside himself and figure out what he can do to make her feel more safe so that she doesn't need to control that situation in those ways.
Jade, this is so important. Okay.
Hold on, Gary. Can I say one thing?
No, hang tight, man.
Sorry.
Because to me, this is so. The moment someone see, this is the problem. Because y'all didn't really answer the question. Hey, what percentage of people are available? Right? It's a very small bucket. It's always been a small bucket. That's the truth. It's always been whatever the ratio is. It's always been. I don't think the ratio is different. Maybe where you're sticking your head in, I could most certainly see areas different than others that drive behaviors. But it seems to me that the right solution is somebody that wants someone that wants to be a warrior and a secure kind of component. And as soon as you step over and go, oh, wow, I'm going to go protect the house, or I'm going to check the investment, or I'm going to take over this role, the moment you do that, you've taken away a little bit of admiration and respect for the person. And the moment you do that to me, it's like, oh, wow, you just took some respect. Like, respect is all I really want. I think that's actually, if a man, I think if a woman or a man is actually raised correctly, they just want to be respected. Once that's gone, I don't care how much love or whatever you call it. Like, you cannot have enough passion for me if you don't respect and trust me as a man. Like, if you don't trust me, dude, I'm done. If you don't think I'm the breadwinner, if you think you have to go work tomorrow because I'm failing, this is the problem. If I'm hitting my fucking nose and I'm just getting beat over and over and over, but I keep trying, and then you step in and try to solve it, that's a problem. That's mommy stepping in, and my mother would never have let me do that. In fact, my mother kicked my ass out the fucking door and said, go get it, son. You're going to probably end up in prison.
But what would you say? I agree with you. And oftentimes, like, I think that's what I crave in a man. Like, there's a problem and I'm like, let me see how you're going to handle it. Oftentimes what happens is they get scared. And then you're sitting there and you're like, why am I?
But let me ask you a question, because
Yeah.
I've been married 3 times, and I don't really take any shame in being married 3 times. I would like to be married again. I actually believe in monogamy. I'm not a playboy kind of guy. I don't get much satisfaction from it. But the moment a woman your point was, how do you handle what? What's your real question?
My real question is what you said about, like, there's a problem, my mom would never solve it, I have to step in and solve it. and I say, great, I've been craving that. I'm looking for that, you know, like in the world out there. And men, sometimes I see these guys who don't have that. And I feel like then I have to be the man, because in, say, a situation, somebody has to quickly decide what to do.
But see, this is the issue for me. Okay.
What's the issue?
If you saw, and Dana will know this, okay, like I have a lot of areas that I have zero tolerance for. Like I'm going to hand to you and like, do not bother me ever again with this. But I want to hand it off to you. Like I want to give it to you. See, the problem is that I don't want to protect you on every little minor problem. This was the complaint I had. My third wife, she was like, dude, you get upset over the most mundane issues. And I'm like, quit bringing them to me. Stop telling me about them. I don't fucking want to know about what the guy did to you in the elevator or the rent. That's your job. Don't want to hear about it, dude. Talk to your therapist. I don't want to hear about it. I've outsourced it to you. You do it.
But you see how this is complicated? Because
it shouldn't be complicated, though. It's what Jade said. Hey, stay in the lane. Right? Don't now. Oh, God, Gary, I heard a bear outside the house. Dude, I'm manning up. That's when you want me. You want to know I'm there. You can't ask me to go fix a flat tire. I am not fixing flat tires. I'm not. Fucking do the AAA. I paid for it. I don't want to fix flat. I mean, seriously. Well, I mean, now, if you can't afford the AA, no. Find a man that can change your tire. There's plenty of guys in Europe.
I'll jump in for 1 second. That was great. Gary. Appreciate that. Can I just mirror? You're welcome. Many you're welcomes. I just want to mirror. I want to mirror. Amazing. I want to mirror back what you said before Gary jumped in. Kind of what you were saying is basically you're saying women, they browbeat their partners because when they have a sense of being unsafe or not feeling secure in their relationship, so they end up having to manipulate to gain control. Is that what you said, or am I just hearing that?
No, I didn't.
No, not you, Gary. Sorry, I think it was Olia that said that, or Jade said that. About the women need to gain control when they feel unsafe. That was like the major point. And then Gary's next point was, well, kind of maybe think about it. Like you're basically saying you need to rather change yourself, evolve into another spiny, spiky, human being, versus actually changing your partners or changing the environment you're in, or finding a partner that can actually be a partner, not a project.
Oh my, for God's sakes, for heaven's sakes, why would we not want to have a whole project for ourselves?
Exactly right. So that's my other point, right? Is a lot of women, they believe if they can turn some man into fix his 5 or 6 flaws, then they'll fix their own personal, issues or their father's issues.
Imagine what you could do with something like me. Yeah, huh? Imagine. I mean, I've got some decent ingredients. Could you make me better?
Well, that's the main point, Gary, is you kind of spoke to the last podcast about how mindset can almost get you way out of a terrible diet, lifestyle, no biohacking, whatever, which is true, right? If you have the ability to have a great mindset, learn these basic human development skills and relationship skills and nonviolent communication skills, attachment theory, and actually work on your partner and work on yourself, you can actually fix all these issues. But the issue is that most people don't even want to do the work because it's work. It takes effort. However, that's why the psychedelics is like a spiritual bypassing for most people. But the truth is women have to build confidence in themselves, so they don't have to look for a man to give them confidence. And it's not like a male or female thing. Yes, the men are the warriors, the women, so to speak, and some cultures have been warriors, across the globe with Amazon warriors. Also in Africa, we know about that whole, they made a movie about that, these amazing warriors. So you have it in your system to actually lead and be leaders of tribes. The issue is that we've been stuck into these archetypes where you think one person has to be there's no duality, right? We can actually have both roles. The feminine and the masculine can blend together to, and that's really when people are confident, when they actually have stable environments, or families more or less stable. And if they're not stable, then they actually can use this work to create their own safe environment in their own safety. And that's what this next frontier of mental health care is going to be, is people actually being accountable for making sure that they're safe in their own nervous system.
Dustin, you seem overwhelmed with this data.
So
while you're looking at a chart,
I listen. I'll just say it. Like to me, everybody is over analyzing.
Please tell us. Please solve my problem.
Listen. I'll say. I should start by saying there, but for the grace, because right, like I'm lucky to be married to my favorite person.
Are you fucking glad not to have any of these issues?
Right. No, really, I couldn't imagine having to wade into like the shit that I hear people talking about. Like what?
It's terrifying. I got to tell you, I bring a fucking 45 caliber with me everywhere I go now, bro.
But
it's terrifying. These women, I mean, they can eat through Velcro attachment Kevlar. I'm saying Charlie Kirk got taken out by a fucking woman. A blonde, just like Jade. Look exactly like Jade.
Wow. Black Widow.
There was no shooter. It was all heart. Okay.
Here's what I'll say. I think a big problem is expectations. That everybody has reached this point where we have expectations that people fit an archetype, that they fit an exact role. When the truth of the matter, and the most successful relationships I've known and I've seen in my life has often been between people. Like I've never seen two archetype, like I've never actually seen what we all talk about. Like this is how the men should act, and this is how the woman should act, and that makes a perfect. I've never actually seen the actual like archetype of expectation actually play out in a successful relationship. Because ultimately we're all so fucking complex and complicated, and people just need to not be so in touch with their sensitive side. Like if I had like one solution, would be like stop feeling and thinking so much and just
buy Bitcoin,
go with it and buy Bitcoin. But
what a typical masculine response. Just stop thinking about it.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. How infuriating is it as a woman when you see these memes and it shows up? Hey, when your husband's thinking about this, right? And you think it's going to be, you, and then it's the chart price.
I think it's funny because like going back to the daddy.
You guys know that they've all, you've all lost your man to Bitcoin, right? He's having a fucking digital, physical, mental, spiritual experience with something that doesn't exist. Okay. In the Ethernet. I mean, like seriously, you can't even fucking tie your guy down. He got a hard on for Bitcoin. You girls are talking about daddy issues. Oh my God. Now, what are we going to do for the next half hour, Dustin? Should we talk about the female problems here?
I think this is the discussion people actually want to have all the time, which is crazy to me because like, I'm down to talk about Bitcoin and do other stuff. But like,
we had you because you're the token kind of
love line with Dustin and Gary, like right, and Misha. Like we'll mansplain all the women problems in the world for you guys and like make it all better. But
thank you. You're right.
But see, I can look at Dustin and go, hey, bro, the chart looks like shit, Dustin. I mean, Dustin's not coming home to me tonight with a big smile on his face looking at my chart. I'm going to be showing him this chart going, bro, what's going on? See, I can't do that with a chick. I can't, man.
But is that
I cannot do that with a chick. No, I've never seen a chick I could do that with, including a business partner, a woman. They couldn't take it. And then I could go have drinks with them and party and whatever.
What happened? Whatever. What happened when you did that?
I just don't understand why you guys can't take it, dude. It's like, it's cool, man.
Take what?
Smash it up.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Well, if you want to play, women that come in the man's world and they want to play by a different set of rules.
Like what? What rules?
Why don't we workshop this and you try it on Dana? Let's say Dana did something wrong. What could you maybe say to Dana so she could feel it and see how she feels?
Dana, you don't close anything. Fuck. dude. You close fucking nothing. You open shit up, but you don't close. And
I
if
don't know what that
people,
means.
you're not a closer.
That's interesting because my dad is a closer, and that's what I've been told all my life is I'm a closer.
Well,
So I wonder what.
tell your dad from a professional closer, you're not a closer.
That's not what I've been told. You're an outlier there. It's the first time I've ever heard this.
Well,
First time. I smack it out of the park.
hey, go do
Let's
it.
do this again. Say it to someone else. Like, say something to me.
No, that was good. That was good. That she's showing him that she can take it. Don't hold back, Gary. Try again. Try another one.
Testing me. He's testing me to see.
No, it's not really a test though. I'm just saying that the way I communicate with a man is different, especially in business. Now, if we're just like I don't know Misha, I'm not gonna like mess with him too much. I mean, I might mess with him a little bit for the audience. I don't know Jade or you. I don't know these people, and I'm gonna mess with them fairly equally, given enough time. And I think I do it pretty. You know, I think everybody should be able to handle it. I don't really get what the big deal is.
There's sometimes if you say things that say somebody your partner is working on and they're true, or they have been maybe in the past.
Why would you tell anybody that your partner's working on something?
Oh, I don't.
Don't ever fucking tell anybody I'm working on something.
That's a good point. It's actually a really good point.
I have no idea what I'm working on half the time. I have no idea who I am half the time. Like that like I have zero. Like you guys assume I know everything. This is what I do know. If I'm awake and conscious, I can actually take care of a number of different people. What I can't do is guess how you're feeling on a certain day and then deliver a message and constantly worrying about being on stage. Like I have a full-time job. It is to create something more tomorrow for the people around me than they have today. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. And hopefully not do it at a negative takeaway from the whole planet. That to me is a really good man. That to me is a really good woman. I have 2 daughters, dude. I would hope they're going to be like good human beings. But I most certainly don't want them to meet a weak man. And like me hearing this from all you guys, I'm like, oh my God, man. My daughters must have me as their freaking imprint. Like, I hope they do. And I hope they have to go to a fucking shrink and go, dude, so many daddy issues. I can't meet anyone strong enough. They will have issues. They will, man. I am a strong son of it. They have seen me have millions of dollars of cash, weapons in my car. I mean, these kids have seen like their images. They have friends that will never see some of these things. Private jets, right? So, like I did all of that for a reason. I ruined them. All their mental images of what a man was. Like, this is what a man is. This is 007 shit, dude. Let's go.
I want to know what you mean by men having mommy issues and women leaning into that. What do you mean by that?
Well, why don't you let the other guys tell you what it means and how easy it is a.
What do you mean by that?
And I don't mean this as a method to manipulate. Like I'll smell you manipulate. Like this is very symbiotic. This is not you being Machiavelli. Okay, if you haven't a gram of hate or if you're not balanced, you're not going to do this deal. Okay, like I'm balanced, man. I want to help other people. I'm not looking to get anything from another human being. In the dynamics of the world that we live in, though, there are times when I can elevate. Like if I had 4 or 5 different women that were really like, you can elevate them, man. Elevate them, and this is the world we live in. Why you wouldn't use that? What happens, though, I think people the elevator gets and they go crazy. Oh, look at me. I'm fucking famous now. I can do all this. Like, oh, you forgot how you got there. You forgot how they push you right through that weird little glass thing you kept having a problem with. It's called an invite to the club, man. It's the same invite that Dustin and Misha and I have been waiting my whole life for. Everybody's waiting for the invite.
Everybody wants to be invited.
But you're saying women don't use it because they get caught up in the wrong thing and forget like who helped them? They bite the hand that was feeding them? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think the women that misuse it have done none of their own. Who the hell am I? Like, I love what I'm doing on Sundays, the I am thing, because it solves all of these problems. It solves all of these issues. You know, I laugh and make some little funny things, and I see a few of you, and it's like, hey, you know, like I have been called nigger, wop, dago, piece of shit, white trash my whole life. I never, ever bitched about it. I'm so glad I never bitched about it, because I can call a black guy, hey, dude, you're acting like a nigger, man. Stop acting like a nigger. Like, it's not a good thing. Stop acting like white trash. It's the same message. Stop acting like a white bitch. It's hard. I needed to hear that. Gary, behave yourself. Right? I had to man up. This is all down to parenting. Everything we're talking about right now is about parenting. People either being, when I was growing up, Misha, we'll go to Misha because he's read more psychology. Well, maybe not, but I started hearing this quality time bullshit. Quality time with your kids. I didn't have any kids, but let me tell you something. When I heard the quality time shit, I'm like, yeah, like let's drop 3 acid trips. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? I can train dogs. The time to train dogs is lots of times, not quality fucking training. It's every moment, all the time, consistent, bang, bang. And we do kids differently. And that's where we went off the rails. About in 1958, probably. Stop beating kids, stop smashing them. I mean, really, we did.
When you say, going back to what you're saying though about women not knowing this, when you do say that, Misha did hear it as, oh, you should be more Machiavellian, right? I don't want to put words in your mouth, Misha.
Not really. I was basically just framing that when he says you're in business, it's strategy, right? It's almost like a wartime environment. Sometimes, depending on the business, but you have to.
That's actually what I'm wondering.
Technically, yeah, you're an operator. Think about it as a business. You're an operator. You are not like you're in the military. You got to get your things done. If you don't get your things done, your company could lose and you die. A lot of people, it is life or death. A lot of these entrepreneurs, it is paycheck to paycheck.
See, in the military though, when the general makes a decision, and Jade's the colonel Jade may say, "Hey, look, man, that's I am not doing that." Most colonels say, "Yes, sir."
That's the point. Exactly right.
A back talk and a discussion, and hey, look, by the way, we will not be sleeping together for the next 90 days. Dude, don't do that shit to me, because what you're doing is you're now saying, I don't admire you.
Exactly right.
I don't want to be with you. And when you no longer admire me, I remember a woman looking at me one day and she said, "Wow, I'm your meal ticket." I'm like, bruh, I will never, ever sleep with you again. Zero chance in you and I ever living together ever again for another moment in time. And I had 2 children. The moment I realized, oh my God, you no longer respect me. Fuck, dude, I'm done. Clip, coupons going. Once you no longer respect your man, your boss, your whoever, your female, your wife, you should fucking walk, dude. Say, hey, I don't want to waste any more of your time, sir or ma'am. I don't respect you enough. You deserve more. You're doing people a disservice, man. You are. I have never, ever been hurt by a woman walking up to me, having dinner, spending 10 years of my life, 10 minutes, whatever. Hey, dude, this isn't for me. Zero. I would never be offended by that. Ever. Hey, Gary, I just want to do business with you. Awesome, man. Cool. Like, define it up. Let's go.
I think it goes both ways. To the man, I would say make sure that you're being someone that is worthy of respect, right? And to the woman, I would say you have a lot of responsibility too. But yeah, people are not infallible, and I do think that there is work needed on both sides. But just be worthy of that respect, and find a woman that can be grateful and appreciative of it.
Hold on. So hold on. So you're telling me men have to be worthy of respect from women independently of anything else in their life. So women have no personal accountability to their own, shortcomings, insecurities, mental health issues. You did say
I said it goes both ways. I said it goes
right,
both
but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you're saying men. I don't think it does go both ways. I don't think men have to focus on being worthy enough for a woman. A man has to focus on being worthy enough for himself, for his finances, for his livelihood, and his family if he wants to, right? There is no obligation to the future woman he meets. So when he meets her at a bar at a crypto event, she goes, wow, he's worthy enough for me. I look at women, I've had enough, I've had domestic violence from my partners, like abuse me. And as a man, you can't really hit women or else you go to jail. But there's a real a social accountability and a responsibility where it stops of, a woman can't expect a man to be anything besides to be a partner. And a partner means not fixing anything in you to make yourself feel better, but
so,
actually.
Hey, Misha, have you been abused by a woman?
Oh yeah, we can talk about that. Oh yeah.
Tell me, like, what does that show up like?
Being emotional abuse is one thing. Gaslighting is big, but more like physical abuse. I dated a really lovely woman who was she ran the largest black-owned female-run VCs in the country. You could probably Google her if you wanted to. She left her husband and 3 kids for me, thinking it was a good decision.
Look at
no, but she ended up just punching me in the head a bunch of times. Alcoholism. You can't really do much.
But dude, like that's kind of on you, right?
Technically, that's the mommy and daddy issue. 100%, right? So that's exactly right. So I have mommy issues. I have daddy issues. A lot of that addiction and bad choices. It's something called codependency. Most of us are codependent in our own right. So yes, I was looking for to be, I never had a secure mother figure. This woman, she was a friend of mine for a few years. She gaslit the crap out of me, and ultimately I fell for it. And then I got out of there, pretty soon. So I did leave. That was on me to leave, and I did leave when it got really violent. But yeah, absolutely.
Dustin, Dustin, we should be pumping the look token right now. This is a look conversation. Seriously. Look, can we see what's happening here? The difference between us, it's so easy to bridge. Seriously, I do not think this problem is a problem.
So, yes, and yes, and yes. So, one of the things that always surprises me, there's so much of this like out there because I think people are really struggling. I think there's a lot of reasons why. I think that the internet has opened up like the overall pool for people to always think that the grass is greener, to be less accepting, right? To feel like that they have access to people that are outside of their immediate geographic like proximity. All of those things I think combine into like creating lots of problems. I also just find it hard to believe that it is as representative as it seems on the interwebs, which is like we have. I see great couples. I know great couples. I know people who are doing great with each other. I think calling them mommy and daddy issues is just like a really lazy way to describe what living is like. Like, right now, I will say, like, if you want to say daddy issues to me, like women, and I thought you gave the perfect definition of that, by the way, right? Which was promiscuity, constantly looking for validation, and one other thing that I forget.
Low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem. Like I thought that was like almost a perfect definition like so good that it almost like killed the conversation. It's like, well, that's exactly what it is. We all know 50 chicks who are exactly like that, right? Who like struggle and exactly that way. I just want people to know, lower your expectations, right? Go into things with an open mind and an open heart. And then you might find yourself being surprised.
I continue to lower my standards. I continue to lower my expectations of humanity. I think we are all going incredibly crazy. Fucking expecting stupid shit from each other that we will never, ever be able to resolve. It's ridiculous.
It really is, though.
It is. I look at all these people. I'm like, wow, man, these are all cool people. Like, why are we all like if I went and talked to any, hey, what could we do together? Come on, please. What can we do together? I don't, maybe nothing. But we don't even ever ask the question. I look at these people, I'm like, wow, man, what could I do if I could organize y'all's asses? Right? Like, anyway.
I mean, is there a solution to any of this shit other than like,
you know what I think the solution is, Dustin? Is we should all look back at our parents and say, hey, you know what? I want to thank you for everything I do not know about what brought you to the decisions that brought you to, that got me here. You have no fucking clue whether you were actually born because you were a moment of passion or a fucking moment of violence, or nobody knows, man. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what happened after that. Nobody knows all the conversations that went on in the car to the dinner.
You're also not defined by any of that.
Dude,
and your life is not defined by any of that.
And by the way, okay, as a male, once I have these little cubs, there's shit they don't need to know for a while. Okay, there's shit they don't need to know. And maybe when they're older, maybe they need to know. And if they want to know, awesome. Everybody should know the truth. Most certainly, in my lifetime, my family will be a complete lie. Okay, a literal lie. Okay, so I was born in 1958. I died 2020, 56. So 50 years from now, it's all gone. All that data is gone. All of it's just washed away. Nobody understands what really happened. Oh, wow, there was a divorce. Oh, someone tried to take the kids. Oh, wow, that marriage was actually just an impregnancy. Oh, that was a mistake, dude. That was not a planned event. So you and I do not know the story that got me here. I don't. It's a fucking fiction. It's how the Eatons are going to write this story a very different way than the Cardones are going to write it. My children will not. Zero. They have zero ability to understand what actually happened in reality. They don't even know what they're. Matt, and we are blaming a guy we're dating. Come on, man.
Not all of us.
I can stop all psychology. I could destroy the psychology business, because seriously, when you look at it that way, you're like, oh, wow, why would I spend any time with a psychologist? Come talk to Gary. Like, I could open up an office with y'all 6 guys. Let's do services for $10 a fucking solution.
Help me.
Well, no, but the solution is that. Hey, look.
All right, that's the next show.
Find your own inner
therapist show.
I love line with Dustin and Gary, and I'll just be like, stop whining about it. Toughen up. Just put on repeat.
You say that, though, Dustin. I'll tell you something. When it comes down to, hey, stop whining about it, we point our fingers at women. If I were to bet my money on something, dude, I'll bet on a woman every fucking time. Every time. Fucking angry. An angry woman? Oh, my God. I want to fuck her, but I should just invest in her. That's what I should. A really angry. And by the way, a girl with a lot of shame, awesome. And intelligence, oh, awesome.
Shame. Why shame?
I can abuse that, but I'm never going to abuse that. Like, I don't, like you, there's zero people behind me like, oh, wow, he took advantage. Many men will take advantage of this. It's such a waste when you should actually be able to fix it, because it's in that wound, man. You're like, I'm still trying. Look, when I die, I want one thing. I will actually probably start crying saying this, but it's the truth. I just want my parents to be that's it, dude. Did I create enough to be worthy of what they did? Now, when you get there, I don't think you can do that when you're 18 or 28. 28 is, you're just starting. If you've been allowed to fucking get out of the house, okay. Yeah, man. These people are holding on to their children so long. It's stupid. Kick the fucking kid out of the house, man. My 18-year-old is in the middle of, I have no idea where she is right now. And she's going to either die or figure it out. That's it. Okay. And she'll love me in 50 years. She'll be like, God damn, dude. She's going to be an adventure. We're creating so many little pussies. It's unbelievable. That's what the women are really bitching about. It's either pussies or vultures, like insane, crazy guys.
Amen.
You kind of ended with something I wanted to say. It was that my father passed away, and I often think about this, and I tell Dana, I would give up everything I own and a lot of future earnings to have one dinner with my dad. And like, that's how I know the man was successful, is because that's my wish. That's my only wish.
That he's smiling.
And Olia's like a solid, like, she's, if you go to prison, like, you want to call Olia, you know? So like, she did get, even though it was a shorter time with your dad, like, from my perspective, and I do think that's why we've been friends for so long, she did have a really solid dad, and she is not ever looking for approval and validation in those ways that would make her maybe subconsciously treat her friends or family in a way that's not, you know, that's in her best interest, but not in their best interest. She's always like very solid, and taking care of herself as well. Like the toxic femininity thing, Misha sent me over that message around, like, I got your message, toxic femininity. It's the rigid, stereotypical feminine behaviors, excessive meekness, emotional suppression, self-sacrifice. And then that leads to, guilt and kind of being manipulative.
I would read the whole definition. It's pretty clinical. All right, I can do it if you want, but it's really interesting if you read it. So it's instead of a mansplaining it for me, but I would read the whole thing. It's not that long.
I think that was the most of it. It just said
can I read it quickly, because this is like crucial. All right, let me just pull it up. Okay, so basically, toxic femininity is defined as, refers to the harmful effects of enforcing rigid, stereotypical feminine behaviors such as excessive meekness, emotional suppression, or self-sacrifice, which can often be internalized by women and can lead to self-harm or harm to others. Right? So it's not just not just for themselves; it actually can hurt communities and their partners. While some see it as a counterpoint to toxic masculinity, others use the term to describe manipulative behavior from women or as a political tool against feminism. So it's just, we shouldn't all know what we're talking about, and there are, clinical definitions. People are talking about this. There's actually a lot of studies I sent Dana. Maybe she can put the links onto this. But the point is, when the woman's toxic and the man's toxic, everyone's toxic. So if we can work on ourselves before we get to that relationship, so we do our own personal work and then show up as a team. And when I say the military, it's like we're all operators. We don't want to be, families fight, teams win championships. So we want to be a team, right? And that's the whole point of a relationship. It's not, I'm going to drag you to the finish line. Unless people have that savior complex. I had that for a very long time, and I ditched that recently. My life coach used to call me Captain Save a
I have
Ho.
a question. I have a question
Yeah.
for you, man. Do
Yeah.
you remember the moment you lost respect for your father?
Yes, we actually went through like a 12-year, kind of almost like estrangement
The short
therapy.
story on it. The moment you were like, oh wow, he's not the guy that I thought he was.
It probably was when I was 8 years old. I was basically, or 9 years old. My sister was much better at, book smart than I
This is
was.
before or after you believed in Santa Claus?
I'm Jewish, so we didn't really believe in Santa
Easter
Claus.
Bunny. Oh, what all?
No,
Okay, so y'all
okay, really.
superior race
I think
after that.
it was. I
So-
thought he had all the answers, and I asked him for help on something with my schoolwork, and he actually was so frustrated he didn't know what to do, and he blamed me for not being as smart as my sister. And I was like, "Huh, I'll never do that to my kid." And
Yeah.
that was like the moment. I was like, "Huh."
How old were you when you lost respect for your mother? When you knew she wasn't totally in control?
I was young for me.
How-
She left when I was 7. She was an
Okay,
alcoholic,
7.
bipolar, left in the middle of the
So
night.
before then, probably 5
Yeah.
years old. You're like, oh shit, I don't trust girls. Jade, you're laughing. What, like, you know where I'm headed with this, right?
Spell it out for us.
I don't
No,
actually.
no. Oh, really? So, when was the moment you were like, oh wow, my dad isn't exactly as powerful as I thought he was? How old were you?
That's an interesting question. I come from a unique family dynamic of divorced parents and step parents. I think that
the guy that you really like, he's my dad. That guy. That's the guy I'm talking about.
I don't think that I lost respect for him. I think I've only gained respect for him as I've gotten older.
There's a moment though. There's a moment when I realized my parent, like I only had one of them, but I realized my mother was not as strong as I had imagined her to be. That she was a skeleton and a human and flawed and like, whoa, tons of history. It never dawned on me. There was a moment in time when I'm like, oh, these parents have, my children don't think I have any fucking issues. They just think I'm rich. They think I'm crazy. Guy can't get, doesn't travel unless they think I'm like, they have no basis, right? They think we're crazy, and they're probably right.
I think there came a time recently where I realized that my parents are just human, and I always looked at them like they always had all of the answers and they could do no wrong and they had everything figured out. But as I've gotten older, I realized that they're just flawed humans like the rest of us, doing the best that they can. And, we can talk about mommy issues and daddy issues, and I do believe that they're a real thing, but you get to be a certain age where you have to take responsibility for yourself. And you were speaking a lot about doing the inner work, and that's something that's been really important to me in my life. I'm nowhere there yet, but we can blame our parents, till we're blue in the face, but at some point we have to take responsibility for our own lives. And so, like you said, the best thing we can do is love them and appreciate them for doing the best that we can. And I think the best way to honor them is to do the work and be the best that we can be.
How much time do you guys spend thinking about your childhood?
Not much.
A fair amount, actually, but that's my industry, though.
For me, it comes out when I'm acting out or I have difficult situations and I wonder, where does this behavior come from and why am I responding in a certain way? You can't tell that I've been actively doing a lot of inner work, so it's something that's more present on my mind.
What about you?
I actually think about my dad a lot because I was gonna say, I feel like in my life I've probably had every issue except like father issues. That was like the thing that gave me like resource to not be like an addict right now or homeless or whatever. And so I think about as I got older, I used to not think in my 20s, I never thought about it. But as I got older, I analyzed like the words he said, situations. I just kind of walk around. I go on a walk in New York, but I just really analyze and I think about backstories. It's quite a lot, actually.
Tell you what, I didn't want to show up. I did not want to show up for this tonight. You guys saw my little text. I'm like, hey, I might have something going on. I was actually really like, I should have just stayed in the room I was in. I was painting, but I got to say, you have really touched me a number of times with your, just, to be able to respect your parents, man, to like what you said about your dad, to be able to have dinner with him. I'm like, wow, if my kids can just like, wow, they want to have dinner. That is monster. Your dad was awesome. What was his name? I want to honor him.
His name was, the writer Dostoevsky. His first
Dostoevsky's
first name is Fyodor, which is the same as my father. Yeah, Fyodor.
Fyodor. What does that mean? Do you know?
I'm not sure. It's a very old Slavic name.
Yeah. Fyodor. Yeah, we should find out from the audience. It has a meaning. Fyodor. Every name has a meaning. My name means
honor, they said.
Is that what it means? Honor?
Someone just looked it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, chat.
So great. Awesome. I like your dad.
Thank you.
But one thing I just want to bring up to kind of piggyback that last point is, a lot of the self-work does come from forgiving your parents and having compassion for your parents. In inner child work and inner child therapy, there's one kind of framing that really helps a lot of people is they say, well, you had your parents had issues. Well, what was your parents' issues, right? Well, they had parents, right? And only 150 years ago, those parents.
Let me ask you a question, man. Why would I waste 100? Let me just ask the impossible question. Why would I waste 1,000 hours on any of this?
For someone like you, yeah.
Or Jade or Oya. All these people are very different ages, right? Like I'm you got Dana at 35, so it's a big spectrum here. So male, female, it's a pretty good collection of people.
Yeah, I think for someone like you, Gary, for someone who has built their.
Take some more Prozac.
Well, no, I think you have done the work, right? Whether it's, with you bootstrapped it, you white knuckled it, but you've done a lot of the stuff, and you could be a motivational speaker like Tony Robbins and probably make more money than he does because you have more integrity. Wow. But the truth is these people have half the skill and half the ability you have, and they're running businesses on it. So I would say it has to call to you, right? You have to want to fix a block in your life. You're stuck in some issue. You have money issues, addiction issues, relationship issues.
I gotta tell you, I've spent millions and millions of dollars. I don't even know how much. And I think every dollar was great.
Yeah, but you have
$4 million that's sitting with a fucking, bullshit.
Yeah, but Gary, you have something called resiliency, right? So in the industry, the whole goal
that's what every man wants, dude. Every woman wants a fucking guy that can bounce.
And how many battles did you have to win in wars to do that to get there, right?
This is the problem.
Exactly.
See, because if for instance, I'm an interesting guy. If you would be attracted to me, if you're a particular personality as a female, Jade's laughing at, oh, he's going there, huh? Well, yeah, shit, let's do this. I have been stunned. I'm like, God damn, I'm a rich guy. I can't get up. I can't meet somebody that's awesome. So what's the first thing that's going to happen when somebody comes into my world, right? What are they going to tell me? Like, what are you going to do? Like, you're not going to convince me to buy a 3x leveraged position on look.
Why not?
It depends what they
Pussy.
See, and the other thing is, I see all the young women. Y'all are all. By the way, I just want to go ahead and say this. Maybe that one drink made me feel good. all you young girls that are bitching about your 25 to 40-year-olds that are pussies, don't start whining when you meet me and you go, yeah, but you're too old. Like, fuck, dude, man up. Jesus Christ, pick a fucking song. Pick these young punks that can't keep it up, or, do whatever. But like, there's a gap here. There's a massive gap. No, seriously. There's a gap for everyone, though. Like, it's not just happening for spouses and people that want to come together. It's happening in corporations. There's a whole section of 25 to 45-year-olds that are getting wiped out by AI, man. This is happening. Like, some of what's happening for you guys is actually happening. It is our world we live in.
I was buying real estate in Ukraine. What's happening for me is that could be gone tomorrow. That's what's happening to me.
Yeah.
I'm getting wiped out by bombs, not AI.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. Now, I think your perspective on what a man is very different than somebody else's.
Actually, her perspective is the same as mine, and she's Ukrainian, and I grew up here. So,
what's your perspective, Dana?
We really have aligned a lot on this, I think, and I think it's because, in part, that we did have really good dads, and I think that actually formed that more than any location. So, what's the main question that you're asking? What was the question?
Well, you said you align with her perspective, but I guess what is her perspective? And I'm trying to really frame it. Basically, what I'm gathering from my notes, and maybe my notes weren't sound, but that you believe that women have to feel safe, around a man. Sure, but if they're not safe, they have to create their environment to gain control, so they actually can be safe. Is that right?
I think that would be a bad idea.
Right, but that's what I think Olia said earlier that I took notes on. So, I guess like how do you guys?
So that's what I said earlier. But when a woman do those things to feel safe and feel control, then that's not a good relationship to be in.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That was my major point. Perfect, great. So change your partner, not change yourself. Exactly.
Well, work on yourself also.
Don't change yourself. Really. Work on yourself. Don't adapt to be somebody else. Don't acquiesce your entire self, but always work on yourself. Evolve, don't change.
Jerry, you're muted. Okay, wait, still muted. Okay.
I just wanted to apologize to energy of the universe, the great vessel of oneness. I'm so sorry that I upset your sensitivities.
It's okay. Apology accepted.
Not you. Someone in the chat.
Oh, really? We're gonna wrap this up because some have appointments. And
thank God, I'm getting ready to rip my throat out.
Can I sum up the best?
Hey, when can we all have a love fest together and talk about the difference between male and females on a beach where we can all fish for redfish, drink beer, and get a great tan? While we run spaces and see the sunset with margaritas. Dustin, what are you thinking?
As long as there's a poker game and we broadcast it this time, I think we're.
How about Friday?
I also can I sum up
yes, please, Justin.
Forgive me, but
Does anyone want to go to a family office in Greenwich?
What we talked about.
I'll be there actually.
Jerry, why are you not? Why? Okay, go for it, Dustin, please.
I can't
honor
believe
thy mother and thy father.
Dustin, can you say that again, dude? Can you give him the main floor, please?
Honor.
Do your job.
Mother.
Do your wait. Hold it. She's got to get her camera view ready for you. Come on, Dana. What? Dana, put him on full view. Okay.
Dana, close.
On the main stage. My God.
Honor.
Okay. Kind of. Hey,
Jesus.
It's come and gone. Oh, there it is. Bring it.
Okay,
now,
Gary.
Make it real.
Bring that erection.
Real simple.
Farm right now.
Honor thy mother and thy father, and if you stop complaining and everything and start figuring out how to honor the people around you and find gratitude, you'll attract good things.
It's a destination, bro. It's a destination.
Thank you, Dustin. This is in honor of all the good fathers. Gary,
Amen.
you're included in that. Oh yeah,
I miss my dad terribly. So I really felt that when you were talking about that. I had an amazing dad that really I think taught me many of the things I recognize myself as being the best of myself. And so it's tough for me because I was incredibly blessed with parents who fought through all kinds of shit to stay together to give us the best possible situation. And when I was younger, I had Grant has brother issues. Oh,
dude, that motherfucker's got so many issues. Okay,
but
let me tell you something about Grant Cardone.
Incredible.
That motherfucker has spent so much money on figuring out what his issues are. He's got issues on his fucking issues that are so deep that he's got demons on his issues that have issues. I mean, this motherfucker is so dark. Darkness has gone.
We all have issues. Here he is supporting.
Grant is so fucked up. It's beyond fucked up.
Grant, we're happy to have you.
It becomes normal.
I would love to interview someone like that.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
just
absolutely.
light me up, sister.
Next episode, we're gonna have a therapy session with Olya and Gary.
Can't wait. I cannot wait. It's
Okay, cool.
$1 an hour. It's great rates, guys.
Hey, it's on me. It's on
one
me.
Thank you.
Bitcoin per day.
Thank you, everybody. I had a good time.
Hey guys, go tell your dad that you love him.
I still love my
Bye,
mother.
guys.
I just looking for mommy. Mommy. Let me make sure you're good, mommy. Do I have enough zeros, mommy? Mom.